I was going through the collection of old electronic things, trying to decide where I can salvage parts or what needs to go to recycling, and I found this old 80s clock radio that seems to work, although it could use a cleaning, and the buttons for setting the hour and minutes aren't very responsive. Sometimes I can press the button and nothing happens. Other times I can lightly press it and the digits will go flying by, so I have to keep cycling all the way around until I randomly land on the digit I want. And these feel like the tactile conductive pad type buttons that would be on a remote control. So I'm going to take this apart and see if just a cleaning will fix it, or I can try to replace the conductive pad on the buttons if necessary. If I can get the buttons restored, I want to use this in the workbench area because it's better to get several more years, if not a couple of more decades out of this before it has to get recycled. Of course, there's dust in here, so I'm going to use compressed air to clean out anything obvious. And while I have it apart, I'm going to use electrical contact or control cleaner to spray into any switches or anything else that may have dirt or dust and interfere with making connections. Deoxit is often used, but it's not readily available to me, so I'm using MG Chemical's Control Cleaner. The buttons I need to look at are on a separate little circuit board, and after taking that out, there's 4 of those conductive pad button membranes, and the circuit board with the tracks exposed so the button can press down and make the connection. So I'm using 99% isopropyl alcohol to clean the decades of dirt off of both the circuit board tracks and the button conductive pad areas. And while it's all apart, I'll just clean any other obvious buildup of dirt out of there. And since I don't know if this is sufficient, before I put it back together, I'm going to take a button and press one of the time setting contact areas and make sure it seems responsive and that it's working as it should. It seems to be okay, at least it's a lot better. And after doing as much cleaning as I think is necessary, it's time to put it back together. And now plugging it in, those buttons are responding as I would expect. If I press them slowly, they just advance once, and if I hold it down, it will just cleanly count up without really missing any presses or making and breaking contact rapidly and spinning the numbers around and rolling them over. So it looks like I can keep this in operation and use it in the workshop.